I'm Shannon Ogden with your Denver 7 update. What would the last year be without a setback? The state health department has pulled the Johnson & Johnson vaccine from use because of concerns it can cause blood clots. And the CDC and FDA now recommend the rest of the country do the same, at least until experts can figure out what they're dealing with. Now, the agencies say just six of the 6.8 million people to receive the J&J shot developed a rare and severe type of blood clot after receiving the vaccine. All are women between 18 and 48. And of course, there have been other hiccups. Mass vaccination clinics in Commerce City and near Raleigh, North Carolina were briefly called off after a handful of people reported adverse effects. Also, that mix-up in Baltimore ruined 15 million doses and forced states to rely even more heavily on Moderna and Pfizer. And that is where we focus our attention tonight. Because while our country is currently good on supply, it does need to worry about demand. Here's Denver 7's Gary Brode.
Vaccine clinics were forced to pivot quickly Tuesday morning. Like this one in Thornton.
We thought we would see cancellations, and we thought people would be really willing to just switch their appointment for a Pfizer, for a Moderna. That's not been the case today. A lot of people are still opting to just wait.
Anna Alarcon was relieved to find out she would not be getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
I was kind of happy, because me and my friends were talking about it, saying that the Johnson & Johnson was giving people symptoms.
Catherine Luovano had similar hesitations, although it wasn't going to stop her.
I've had other people say that they felt some side effects from J&J, Johnson & Johnson. And I decided that it was worth the risk to get vaccinated rather than not.
While these two had no problem taking a different vaccine on short notice, plenty others did.
Some people, believe it or not, are still waiting for Johnson & Johnson. We've had lots of cancellations today where people said they are just going to go ahead and wait for Johnson & Johnson.
Theo Gonzalez with the Thornton Fire Department oversees operations at this vaccine site that's been giving out shots since December.
It's the convenience factor, right? So Johnson & Johnson, obviously it's the one and done, and we live in a society that puts a price on convenience.
Gonzalez says on a given weekday they vaccinate about 1,800 people. But because of the cancellations, they'd be lucky to do half this Tuesday. Rural counties like Elbert County have seen some of the worst vaccination rates in the state. A spokesperson for Elbert says there are multiple factors that go into the low numbers, including a lack of healthcare facilities, but also says many people may lack confidence or otherwise trust the effectiveness and safety of vaccines. With the Johnson & Johnson vaccine being pulled for now, Denver Health Chief Medical Officer Connie Saver-Price does worry some will become more leery of any vaccine.
Pfizer and Moderna are still in use and still available. And in terms of preventing vaccine hesitancy, it's incredibly important that we be transparent and that we investigate these issues if we do hear about them. In
Thornton, Gary Brode, Denver 7.
And health experts point to the vaccine being pulled as a good thing, as you heard there, because at least it demonstrates transparency. They also say people who receive the J&J shot shouldn't worry much about the future complications.
If you had no symptoms, the likelihood of you developing symptoms or issues is so low, it's still not something I'd be worried about. I'd be more worried about potentially contracting COVID, actually. It's going to be much more common.
Centura Health tells Denver 7 it is treating a recently vaccinated person for blood clots. Now, Centura operates both in Kansas and Colorado and wouldn't say where that patient's located. You'll find more information on the vaccine and what comes next on thedenverchannel.com. And if you received a shot from Johnson & Johnson and you're now worried about your health, we'd really like to hear from you. If you got that shot and haven't a care in the world, we also like to hear that as well. Same goes for anybody who has not yet booked an appointment. Tell us what you're thinking. The email address is 360@thedenverchannel.com. Douglas County Commissioners intend to lift all restrictions once local control takes effect Friday. Tri-County Health, which operates in Adams, Arapahoe, and Douglas counties, had called for some precautions to remain, but commissioners said today that won't be necessary.
Yeah, this is a step towards liberty. This is a step towards freedom. Because when that happens, the responsibility goes to you and all of us. And it's that personal responsibility that I think we've lost in these efforts that have been foisted on us from above.
The governor has decided to devolve the dial as of Friday, April 16th. And when I first saw that date, I thought that's pretty funny because we're all going to pay income taxes on April 15th, and then on April 16th we get freedom.
1,900 cases of the coronavirus and 13 deaths were confirmed in Colorado today. And tonight, nearly 500 people are in the hospital. Thank you for watching this Denver 7 update. We're always on to bring you Colorado news and weather 24 hours a day with live breaking news as it happens. We'll be back with more news at 8 o'clock.